Coffee and Kidnappings by Selohtun. Read by Satori Reads. Chapter 3. Now, this does count as a first date. Summary. It's time for their first date. Izuku isn't sure if his sanity is completely gone, or if it wasn't there to begin with, but he's so far in it now to stop. He really can't just walk up to his teacher and ask him to take a known villain on a date. And Mike is a wimp who hides behind brightly colored sunglasses and bad flirting. Izuku does know one thing though. He might be a teenager, but he doesn't let that stop him from doing what he knows is right. And now what's right is setting the two idiots up on a date. It's not going to be easy. Part of the problem is that it's just Izuku, unless he really wants to rope in one of his friends, and that would just take too long to explain anyway. So it's just him versus a pro hero and a villain, one of which could very easily kill him with just a look, and the other who could revoke coffee privileges, and Izuku isn't sure which is worse. But the main issue still stands. He has to kidnap them. And he has to do it alone. Izuku doesn't know jack about relationships or dates or whatever, but he does know that forced togetherness should get their heads out of their asses. Mike flirts like crazy at any given time, and his teacher isn't as subtle or stoic as he might think. Izuku reads people, and he reads people well. He has all their weaknesses written down, plain as can be, laid out perfectly. He just never thought he'd use them. First things first, he needs a place to set them up on a date. Aizawa would likely react badly to any public area, and Mike thrived off the spotlight. This is already difficult. Not that Izuku thought that it would be ever easy. It never was. Midoriya, are you present Mike's secret love child? Todoroki is blunt as ever. No sarcasm in his voice, no joking tone. He is, as always, 100% serious. Why Todoroki? We don't even look that similar. No, but you do spend a lot of time with him, and you've been writing about him a lot, and he treats you like son anyways. Are you sure he's not your dad? What? No! My dad is working overseas, I told you. Okay. Izuku can tell that the other boy doesn't believe him, but it's not worth trying to convince him otherwise. At least Mike would find it funny. And then he asked me if you were secretly my dad. As predicted, Mike bursts out laughing, falling onto the floor with tears streaming down his face. Izuku throws his hands into the air, watching as the villain struggles to breathe through laughter. What? How? We don't even look alike. We don't. However, I do want to mess with him. Think I can find contacts that make my eyes look like yours? Mike's laughter dies down, and he gives Izuku a grin bigger than he's ever seen before. Hell yeah, kid! The next day at school, Izuku comes to class with green contacts that bear striking resemblance to one wise villain. Midoriya, what happened to your eyes? I usually wear contacts because my eyes are weird, but I couldn't get them in today. Sorry if it's strange, Todoroki. Izuku watches as the gears in Todoroki's brain turn, and he walks off towards his desk, mumbling something about secret love children. Deku, how? Otaka does a double take, and Ida looks over her shoulder in concern. Midoriya, what's in your eyes? I usually wear contacts, but I couldn't get them in today. Izuku watches as the entire class gets more and more concerned about his eyes, biting back a borderline feral grin. Aizawa comes in, kicks the desk to get everyone's attention, then stops with his mouth open when he looks to Izuku. Is something wrong, Sensei? Aizawa blinks twice, then shakes his head and continues on with the lesson, ignoring the grin on Izuku's face. After classes have ended, he pulls Izuku aside, looking him up and down. Listen, I know damn well you're wearing contacts. Just why? Chaos, sensei! Also, because Todoroki asked me if Mike was my dad, and I decided to mess with him. Izuku smiles at him. Wait, is there anything else? No, nothing else, problem child. Izuku grabs his bag, waving as he walks out. See you Monday, sensei! Or sooner, if Izuku's plan does not work out. Hopefully, Shinso will be down to cause some chaos. If I told you I had a plan to kidnap Aizawa to set him up on a date with a villain, what would you say? Izuku's head is hanging upside down off his bed, and Shinso pauses for a second, sitting on the floor. Why and how? Because Mike isn't going to do it himself. And Aizawa isn't nearly as subtle as he thinks he is. And how? Easy! But I would need your help. Do my next 2 analysis assignments, and it's a deal. If you have a backup plan. Done! And Shinso, do you truly think that I would do this sort of thing without a backup plan? Yes. Izuku pouts, but sits back up straight. Alright, so here's the plan. Mike isn't sure what happened exactly. One moment, he was minding his own business, closing up the coffee shop and triple checking that the ovens were off, and the next, he woke up tied to a chair. He's still in the coffee shop, but it's dark out. The door is locked, and his hands are literally tied. The only light is from a street lamp outside, and no one is around. It's one of the stranger ways Mike has woken up, although not quite the strangest. He is half aware of a shadow moving in front of one of the large windows at the front of the shop that faces the street, but it's quick, moving too fast to catch a real glimpse of. Mike should, in theory, use his quirk. It wouldn't get him out of the chair, but it would fuck with whoever tied him to it, if that shadow is, in fact, them. But he's also not sure if he really should. His hearing aids are still in, thank God, and he can hear a chair being dragged across the floor. He doesn't make a sound, doesn't move his head much, but whoever it is in the shop with him notices that he's awake. Ah, crap! I thought you'd sleep longer. Sorry, Mike. This looks really bad, but I need you to know that I'm only doing this because you'd never get your head out of your own ass otherwise. That's Midoriya's voice. Why is Midoriya here? Kid, what the fuck is... hold on. Midoriya walks towards him and puts his signature headphones around his neck. There. Aizawa-sensei should be here soon if Shinso didn't have much trouble. What? Before Mike can ask what's really going on, 3 taps come from the back door. Midoriya rushes over and opens it. Another teenager walks in, carrying Eraserhead on his back. Midoriya helps the other kid carry Eraser to another chair, leaving him untied. Oh fuck, did you seriously have to wake up already? That's the other kid. Midoriya never swears, and this voice is deeper and much more sarcastic sounding. Well, yeah, what's... His head feels foggy, like he's about to fall asleep, and then the world goes black. When Aizawa finally comes to, he's sitting in the coffee shop Midoriya frequents. He's not tied up, which is nice, but it's still strange. It's the middle of the night, but there's a table set up with 1 candle on it, and 2 mugs of coffee are sitting on it, still steaming hot. And is that prison Mike across from him? The villain is knocked out, but he's not tied up either. Mike? Aizawa hisses, worried about alerting anyone else that might be responsible for this. What? Eraser! Aizawa cancels his quirk on instinct, but that doesn't solve any of their problems. Did you do this? What? No, I just woke up. Mike is clearly just as confused, and Aizawa is left wondering who went to all this effort. God damn it, problem child. Oh my god. Why are teenagers like this? What? Oh, yeah, Midoriya. Are all your students this insane? Aizawa shakes his head. resisting the urge to smack it against the table. Now, most of them are normal, but apparently not all of them. Aizawa looks to the table again, seeing a note. Hi, Mike and Eraser. Since both of you won't stop dancing around one another, we decided to do it for you. There's cream and sugar on the shop counter and some cupcakes in the bag for you. Don't worry, we'll take care of the patrol for you, Eraser. Have fun. Scribbled underneath in a much messier scrawl is this. Use protection. God damn it, problem children. Did you kidnap a pro hero and go on a patrol for him? Mike is in disbelief. Isn't Midoriya training to be a hero? Isn't kidnapping a pro grounds to be declared a villain? Yep, you were going to, and I was ready and willing to be expelled for this. Midoriya smiles at him, and it's far too innocent. I now understand why Eraser calls you problem child. Mike ruffles the kid's hair. Good job. Want some info on my least favorite villains? As thanks for finally getting me a date. Who's your least favorite villain? I hate the League of Villains. Mike doesn't know whether to be proud or terrified of the grin Midoriya gives him. So, on a scale of expulsion to headed straight to Tartarus, how much trouble am I in? The grin Aizawa gives Izuku is far more terrifying than anything he could have imagined. I'm training you and Shinso personally, and doubling all your homework for 2 months. So, off the scale. Great. So, that was the third and last chapter of Coffee and Kidnappings by Selohtun. Once again, I am putting the link to the author's AO3 account into the description, just as I am putting the link to this chapter into the description. Do not forget to leave me a comment on how you liked it and what I should improve on, maybe, and or some recommendations you have. I hope you liked it, and go check out the author. So, bye-bye for now, and see you later.